It is time for another episode of PulumiVision. And today we are going to be creating boilerplate providers. We're going to be using the Pulumi boilerplate provider thingy. Where'd it go? Yes. We're going to write a provider. We're going to write a native provider. That's what we're going to do. Gwen is back. Gwen is back.
Hi.
And so if we think about this, what's the difference between, and I might be thinking about this myself because we're talking about creating a native provider versus just like a component. So
Yeah. All right. So, first of all, hi everyone. I'm here from like complete January Seattle. It's Thursday afternoon. I'm feeling it. It's late in the week and it's gray outside. So please bear with me and please, if any of y'all are watching or having inputs or comments, please leave them and like let them know, and like we'll chat and see if we can all just kind of like get something cool going. Back to your question about providers. So, when you use Pulumi, most of you are going to interact mostly with the Pulumi engine, which basically allows you to provision infrastructure using your favorite programming language. And parts of what that makes that possible is what we call a provider or a package in the more general sense, right? So, and your question about components versus providers is a really, really good one, because what a provider is it's basically its own separate mini service that it's a gRPC server that interfaces between the Pulumi engine and whichever cloud or upstream API it's representing to for the two to be able to talk to each other. And you can then use it as, you can download it as a plugin or use it as an SDK to work with it to create your resources. And sometimes we run into APIs that don't have a Pulumi representation. And what do you do then? And this is where the provider boilerplate approach comes in. So writing a Pulumi provider from scratch is super hard. Pulumi providers, if you're used to Terraform, are sort of like similar to the idea of like a Terraform provider. And in fact, a lot of our Pulumi providers build on top of existing Terraform providers because, frankly, if things are an open source, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. But sometimes either we can't, we don't have the correct upstream dependencies, or we have other restrictions. And that is when we write what's called a native provider. And all that really means is that we just build all of the logic from scratch that talks to the upstream cloud provider. And so that's really hard. And so what we have done is we have provided a template repository. It's actually been up for quite a while. And I just started really going into it and trying to understand and trying to improve the instructions so that it would be a little bit easier for people who don't work at Pulumi to use it. So let's go to it. Does that answer your question?
I know think so. I'm just trying to like puzzle out between a component and a native, right? Like where you would do which one.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and talk a little and kind of find a little bit, find that architecture diagram, because I think that'll make it a bit more clear. That's the share screen button. There we go. I know how to use computers so well. There we are. Awesome. So let's see, architecture diagram. Let's go just back to kind of the basic Pulumi architecture diagram. I'm going to blow this up like crazy. So here we are. What you see. All right. What you see on the right here, providers. That's what we're talking about when we're saying providers. What a component is that's sort of that's kind of a complicated. So what a component is, a component is still a part of your regular Pulumi program. What a component is what you, the developer, create for yourself to abstract away some of your principles in your own Pulumi program. It's local, it's based on your internal logic, and it's meant for you to expand and basically develop best practices around how you and your team use Pulumi. What a provider is, a provider basically extends the Pulumi environment to cloud providers. It makes it possible for the engine to talk to outside APIs. And that is basically an entirely different part of the infrastructure from a component.
Got it. That makes sense.
Cool. So now that I have thoroughly confused everybody, let's go and see what happens with this boilerplate. So template repositories on GitHub are a thing. I've been doing a little bit of cleanup and try to do a step-by-step following on how to use this template. So let's just go ahead and see. Let's see how my own instructions work. What you see here is actually, let me make this bigger again.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. So what you see here is we call this a template repository, but one of the things that you wouldn't know by looking at it is that if you use it, you actually get like a complete miniature Pulumi native provider baked into it that you can try. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of use this template, and then I'm going to walk through the different parts of the template, but I'm going to click this, and I'm actually probably going to go ahead. Actually, hang on. I hate how this works, but let's open this and put it on the left so that I can follow the instructions. Authoring a Pulumi native providers, prerequisites. Yeah, I think I have all those prerequisites. So we're going to click use this template. I'm going to make it a Pulumi, and then I'm going to call it I'm going to call it native demo. Actually, I'm going to follow Pulumi demo native. We have names. We want to call this, we want to make sure that we know it's a non-Terraform based provider. Sorry. So right. This is just a demo repo for messing around on a stream. Hi, everyone. And we're going to make it public so that y'all can leave me nasty comments later.
Or very nice comments. We should leave nice comments.
GitHub, the original awkward social media platform.
Yeah.
That wasn't me, I think. I hope.
That was me.
Fabulous. So I have an initial commit. Great. I'm going to leave the old template open because it has instructions. So from the templated repository, it says search replace XYZ with the name of your desired provider. So I already gave my provider a name, and I called it demo native. Very cool. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to copy, open a terminal, make this terminal immensely huge. And then I'm going to cd into my working path. GitHub. Pulumi. Actually, there we are. And I'm going to git clone. Oopsies. All right. So what I have here is I have so much. And you know what? I'm just not going to tree this. I'm going to open this in my IDE.
Well, that explains why nobody was joining us from Twitch, because I did not actually put an actual real Twitch URL. I put twitter.tv/Matt Stratton, which is everything wrong except the .tv part.
So are you saying that we have an audience?
Well, hopefully. Well, we had someone who said they tried and it didn't work. So hopefully that means they will try again. But
thanks, Matty. All right, cool. So let's see, can I make these bigger? Yes, no, I can't. Why is this annoying? All right.
okay.
So what we have here, why can I not make this bigger?
On the side.
On the side, I hate this.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
How do I make it bigger? So what we have here is we have our native provider, and actually, you know what? I can just show the tree on GitHub. Actually, that's actually much easier. There we go. So I want to ignore the SDK folder, because what the SDK folder holds is generated code. We're not going to worry about it. Hey, everybody.
There we go. Now we got it.
Hey, so just to catch everyone up, I'm using the Pulumi provider boilerplate to try and build a native provider of my own. And it is currently called Pulumi Demo Native. It's public. You can all check it out, follow along. And I'm currently just messing around with establishing what we're seeing in this template repository. Perhaps counterintuitively, I was really confused by this when I first looked at it. The template provider repositories actually contain a real provider that will actually build and actually install and can actually be used. It is very, very simple. Well, wow, I can't believe I just said that in public. It is not actually connected to a real cloud provider, but it shows the concepts and ideas behind how a provider works fairly well, in my opinion. It just so happens that like every cloud provider and API works slightly differently, sadly. And so after you are done with the template or like initial build, you're sort of like, this is when you start implementing stuff that's specific to your use case. So anyway, like I said, it's a dreary, cold Thursday in Seattle, and I would absolutely love some audience energy and questions. If I don't make sense, please let me know. Cool. So on your left is the template itself, and I'm following the instructions as we go. So from the templated repository, it says search and replace XYZ. That's for the purposes of this repo, that's our foo provider. We're going to change that with the name of the desired provider, and I named mine Pulumi Demo Native. Awesome. So as I was saying, I want to ignore the SDK folder. That's all generated code, and we will generate it as part of this new provider that we're making. I want to also ignore the deployment templates. I can show you real quick. What's in here is basically minimal instructions on how you're going to publish your finished provider later when it's ready to go onto all of the language registries, which is awesome. So But we're not going to worry about that when we're just building the provider locally. Then
fair.
we have examples, simple, which I still have on my to-do list to rename to something that's slightly less, I don't know.
You don't want to say simple because that's like, it's you can tell us towards the end of the day here, it's not a value, but
let's see. We have like the template repo has 24 stars. I'm not sure how simple anything in here really is. So, but we're also going to ignore that for right now. But that's going to become kind of fun because it actually gives us the ability to test our provider. Then in here, in the provider, we have 2 folders, a command and a package, and then we have some Go files, which is great. We have in the package, we have provider. Right here is sort of what makes this provider speak to the Pulumi engine. It's basically a gRPC service, and this is where it starts. That's going to not change a lot. And then in the provider logic, this is where we're going to spend a little bit of time. Then we have provider command. This is where it's a little bit interesting as well, because we have 2 things here. The first folder is always confused the heck out of me because it says PulumiVision. And I'm like, it's going to generate the thing that makes us Pulumi? And that's actually backwards, because what PulumiVision does, it uses the Pulumi schema to generate your language SDKs. This is basically what later puts all your stuff into the SDK folder. You can actually tell right down here, right Go client. We have the schema package, we have an outdir, we have a template dir, and literally what this does, it will rewrite everything to our SDK. Okay. So again, for the logic of building a provider, we can kind of ignore this for now. Let's go in here, Pulumi resource. This is also confusingly named. We call a provider a resource. It is sort of the top level resource that, well, actually, when we run Pulumi up, right, you see that the provider is listed as the first resource on your Pulumi up. We can actually see that in a minute when I run the example. So I'm going to veer apart from the instructions here a little bit. I don't want to search replace XYZ right now. I literally just want to build this provider right now. So,
okay.
Let's go ahead and follow the instructions. Make, build, install. I'm just going to build the XYZ provider.
Why not?
I mean, maybe I broke it last time I pushed changes, so it's entirely possible. Quick, someone tell a joke. Who in the audience has built a provider before?
Here's a question. Why do sharks swim in salt water?
Because wait, so they can assault people more easily?
Oh, that's good too. It's because pepper water makes them sneeze. Yeah.
That is adorable. Oh my gosh, why am I getting changes here? Okay. Let's see. Oh, I got fascinating. I got some pipe. Oh, I know what this is. This is hilarious. This is entirely my bad. I just reread the instructions, and these are still the old instructions that the Python SDK still has from the template. So what I need to do right after this is go and run this and PR that against the template repo. Well, but this shouldn't matter, because now what I can do is scroll up. I can go and take this package and go into my examples. Let's actually just sort of look at what's going on here. So what's happening here is that this template builds a random number generator. Actually, let me make my code bigger again. So I'm importing the XYZ package from Pulumi XYZ. Yes, I know I still need to import that. And then I'm making a new random resource. I'm giving it a length of 24 digits. And then I'm going to run Pulumi up and we'll see what we get. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Cool. Pulumi up. Ooh, choose a stack. Wait, why do I have a stack already?
Well, wait,
That's
what did...
Interesting. Why do I have a stack? Let me actually,
Can you go back to... Wait. What's in that directory?
Pulumi. LS. Just Pulumi YAML.
Well, did you do a... How did you... Wait. Sorry,
I ran make build install, which...
Oh, that probably does like a Pulumi init. I mean, if it gave you the...
It shouldn't have. This is very strange.
Oh, properly deleting a stack. It's just Pulumi stack RM and then the stack.
Yeah. Let's do it.
No. That was a question came up in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna remove this because Pulumi.
But you have to
stack, remove def.
Yep.
I have no idea where this is coming.
Oh, you need to do a
Pulumi
destroy. And you could YOLO that. Yeah.
Ah. This is so weird. Okay. Yes, please. Cool.
So because that was make install off of the...
That was off the boilerplate, yeah. And then,
I'm looking to see what that does. I'm looking at the make file.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's take a quick look and see what happened. I ran
install. Make install is all you did.
Yeah, make build install. But like, okay, so let's make this nice and big.
Because make install build is a phony, but it does gen provider.
Yep.
.NET SDK GoS.
It builds all my SDKs and it makes gen, and gen is literally what I talked about earlier. That's up here in the provider command, Pulumi gen. That's running gen. Here's the binary Pulumi gen XYZ and runs the provider. Let's see. Clears gen cd provider and go build. We can actually, and then we're building the code gen binary from the command path, which is code gen right here, main.go. That's all that's doing. Ignore all the red there. Back to the make file. So I don't know, maybe I was messing with stuff earlier. Oh, you know what it is? I bet because I was messing with it before, I have a Pulumi YAML that's like key to my Pulumi account that looks exactly the same. That should not happen. That should never happen. But I'm using the same provider, and I bet that's what happened. Anyway, let's pretend it didn't happen. And let's run Pulumi up. Create a new stack. I'm going to call it demo, not dev this time. Okay, error reading from server. It looks like the Pulumi SDK has not been installed. Let me go to my instructions. I know what this is. We haven't linked. Yarn link. Let's do that. Cool. And let's do yarn install as well. It'll take a minute. And now we have our node modules and we have our yarn.lock. And we have the package JSON earlier, but there's new files now, so that's cool. Yeah. So now we have downloaded all the dependencies, and then we're going to go Pulumi up. I always just go straight to Pulumi up. It says Pulumi stack init test, but I already have a stack, so I'm going to use my demo stack. And it's going to run create. And you notice here that under type, we basically have the name. We have the name of our stack. So this is the stack is a resource in and of itself. And then we have the random resource, and then we can create that. All right, let's do it. Why not? Nice. Now I have, if you count, I have 24 characters of a random string. Great. Cool. I mean, I could just do a random string generator, but let's dive into why this is working and how this is working.
Okay.
Here. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to look at, make this a little bit smaller again. No, come on, give me it there. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going into my provider package provider.go code. Oh, look at that. And actually, no, hang on. Sorry. I think I'm just going to rename this and talk about what happens when we run the search replace. I hate the fact that we do a search replace, and I hate the fact for two reasons. Number one, it's never a straight mapping for search replace. So plans for the future include just writing a little util script for that. And then, but anyway, let's do it. So
I remember we went through this when Lee was on a while ago, and we did like a multi-language component with the boilerplate, a component. Multi-language component was a very similar scenario with the search and replace of XYZ. Yes.
So I'm gonna brutally abuse my editor and do replace files. I'm gonna search for XYZ, and I would like to replace it with demo native, I think, because that will be the name of my package.
Yes.
The Pulumi part is just, I have to do this because they make me, because I work here. You don't have to do any of this. You can name it whatever you like. And in fact, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's actually easier for you if you don't have a dash in your package name.
Yes, probably.
So
probably be a little easier.
Do what you want, but I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to open it in Find window so that we can go ahead and actually see what's being replaced here.
It's like Digital Underground said, do what you like.
It starts in the make file, and the first one seems super innocuous. Come on here. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that one. Pulumi demo native resource provider package demo native project Pulumi demo native. Perfect. You can already see that having things named Pulumi is important. There we go. So I'm going to hit replace on a bunch more. Our node module name, our NuGet package name. Actually, hold up. That needs to be capitalized, doesn't it? Yeah. Pretty sure. So, well, that's a note I can take to me, take for myself. All right, did I just miss the rest of the make file? Where's my readme? Okay, so then we have some readme replacements. I'm gonna skip that. Actually gonna replace that. Demo native. Ooh, demo native. Oh, that said is gonna have some real fun. Replace.
Can you Guin, can you embiggen the
I'll
text
try.
a little bit? I don't know.
I'll try.
Yeah, no, that's way better.
Okay. Yeah. Let's find here. Where did it go? Document. Anyway, I'm going to look in the README. XYZ. Are there any left? Yes. So let's replace that.
Because there was no dash.
And type demo native. So we're just going to call this one the demo provider, because the code doesn't like the dash. Awesome. Some more. Demo. That's right. Pulumi resource demo. Demo. Pulumi resource demo. All right. Cool. So now I have to rename even more things. Great. I think I have renamed most of the important things, but what I need to do here is I need to rename this one to demo. And the command, rename, refactor, rename, PulumiVision demo. I see that this is already, there we go. Import, Pulumi, provider version, Pulumi demo, native. Great, Pulumi resource, refactor, rename, Pulumi resource demo. And the reason I leave off the native here is because, oops, can I not? Yes, do refactor. Just do the thing. Cancel. Go away. My editor's trying to be too smart. Let's not do that. Let's just do this. Because, okay. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm changing the file names so that they will build a provider that has my name on it, that has my magical demo API that will connect the demo API to the Pulumi engine. So right here, do we have some XYZ? No, we don't. Fabulous.
Good job.
Provider name. Let's call it demo. Pulumi demo. .com, Pulumi demo native. So, right. And then we have a schema. We need to change the name of the schema. The name is demo. Do we want to call it demo native or demo? I don't know, actually. So let's talk about the schema. Here is what makes a provider. This little piece of JSON is what allows us to generate the SDKs so that we can write code instead of configuration files. This is the one configuration to rule them all. And this is basically where all the magic happens. And as with all magic, you know, it's not really magic. It's just a whole bunch of blood, sweat, and tears. Let's go ahead and name this demo, index random. I'm going to leave the implementation details as they are right now as a random generator. Because really, all I want to make sure is that I have my basic rename, my basic, like this is what I want to use, that compiles and builds. So import base path, Pulumi demo native. I'm going to probably run into some issues here. SDK go demo. We hope. That's the base import. Possibly, we'll see. Demo. Is there any XYZ here? Nope. Let's find out what happens. Let's do another global search for XYZ. Fascinating. Find window. Deployment templates, it's fine. Provider, one result. Go.mod. Interesting. Aha. And then .go, I need to do a whole bunch of renaming. All right. Module Pulumi demo native provider. And then right here we want. There we go. So here we do a find replace. We want to replace that XYZ with, can I hit replace? Apparently not. Oh, because I'm already in the find window. Let's go away and go into provider.go. So here we have the XYZ provider, which is a struct, and we want to name it the demo provider. And I'm going to just find and replace this guy with demo provider. It's all. All right, so we are here in a file called provider.go. And this is basically the package that provides, no pun intended, sorry, that provides the methods for, that provides all of the gRPC methods that the Pulumi engine expects. And actually, we can go and look into what the Pulumi RPC kind of expects. Oh, there we are. Can I click through this? Yeah. Provider, make provider. Where's my... Okay. So we'll get there once we compile it. Let's see. Is there any XYZ left? There's one. Oh, haha, we can leave that. That's in the char set. Cool. All right. Nice. Let's see what happens if I run make build. Probably gonna fail. Go get. Let's cd into the provider and run go mod tidy. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I was muted.
Go get.
My son just brought me a banana split as an early Father's Day gift, so I need to eat it before it melts. So I might turn my camera off, or I might make all of you watch me eat a banana split.
PulumiGen. Okay, so we do expect our command binary to be called PulumiGen demo native instead of PulumiGen demo. So let's rename that. Whoops. Let's rename that one too. Let's see if we can build. Basically, all make build is doing is just running a go build command.
When I turn my camera off, it takes me off of audio too, I realized. Oh.
What are the toppings?
Yeah,
Wait.
I was trying to, I'm eating a banana split. I was trying to.
But
I turned my camera off because I didn't want everybody to have to watch me eat a banana split. But then I did that, and I feel like it took me off of that. So I was saying it's a very classic, Dairy Queen, vanilla soft serve with banana, pineapple, strawberry topping. This was early Father's Day gift from my kids, apparently. Since they won't be here on Father's Day because they're going to camp.
It looks like I successfully installed something. So that's cool. Let's look at the Git. Sweet. So we renamed a bunch of files from XYZ to be named demo native. Then we modified the make file, the readme, the go.mod, the Go code itself. And then we regenerated a bunch of SDKs, which will include modified and deleted files plus new files, SDK Go demo, Python, Pulumi demo. We'll worry about that in a minute. Cool. Wow, this is a little rough. I'm going to definitely improve these instructions when I get back. Sweet. So I should be able to actually, let me see what's in my binary folder. So we have PulumiGen demo native and we have Pulumi resource demo native. So I should be able to go ahead and get back into my examples folder and import as demo from Pulumi demo native. Then I should be able to go and get a demo.random. So let's find out. Let's follow the install instructions again. Where are they? Yarn link. Let's see if I can yarn link. I'm actually not certain that I have successfully renamed everything.
Well, we're going to find out. I'm on the edge of my seat.
No registered package. All right. What did I do wrong? Let's see. Yarn install. Oh, I didn't install it. I only ran make build. I'm in the wrong folder. This might work. I can now run yarn link Pulumi demo. Sweet. Let's find out. Not Pulumi demo native, Pulumi demo. Sweet. So there's definitely still some naming weirdness. But let's find out what happens if I run Pulumi. Actually, hey Matty, do you know how I find out what's like info about my stack? Did I remove the stack? Oh, I didn't. Let's remove that first.
Isn't it like Pulumi stack ls?
No, that just gives you gives you like the output, like that just shows you. Oh,
well, what do you want to know? You said info about your.
I want to see the output as if I had just run Pulumi up.
Oh, you want to see the current status of your stack.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I actually have to go and delete this from the UI because I think what will happen if I run destroy, it will be like, look, you built a whole different provider. You can't destroy it. But let's find out. Still works. All right, let's go and remove that then. Great. So let's look at my Pulumi program. We have Pulumi YAML.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I'm trying to remember but let's see. You can.
JSON. Yarn lock. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the node modules. Yes. I'm actually going to go ahead and run the same yarn link Pulumi demo and then yarn install. And this should replace all of the former XYZ things with new stuff. There we are. Pulumi YAML. All right. Cannot find module Pulumi demo native. That's so cool. Okay, unable to compile TypeScript. Where is it?
Oh, okay.
Sounds like I just renamed my package weird. Sweet. So the cool thing here is that because we're building a provider, we will actually get these like really weird compile errors at like when we run Pulumi up, which is why I actually really love having an example that we know works but baked into the template, because then it kind of allows you to like figure out all of the weird provider implementation details and tweak all the knobs and make sure you got all that set. There we go. No resource plugin. Pulumi resource demo found in the workspace. Okay. What is this error? This is another naming thing. I'm pretty sure. What is... Okay. Aha, I have Pulumi resource demo native. So somewhere the mapping is broken. Let's see. Demo. Brighter version. It's just that. Go, main.go. Provider name. Aha, provider name is just demo. Let's name the provider demo native. Let's see what happens if I can do that. And then rebuild it. Cool. All right, we registered Pulumi demo. Why did we register Pulumi demo? Ugh. I should just save some of my stuff. Pulumi resource demo found in the workspace. All right, so I'm still building the wrong thing. My demo. What's happening here? There we go. Oh, name. Haha, demo native. I think that's what it is. Remember how I told you all that like the schema is like the one ring to rule it all? And then I was like, yeah, and I think I'm just gonna call it demo instead of demo native. And then the resources will be demo native as well, because the first field of the resource name should be the package name. Yep. This is where things get, all right, cool. Let's rebuild. What happens? Actually, before we rebuild, I'm going to, no, let's just rebuild. YOLO. And then I'm going to actually commit and save all of this. So what kind of keyboard do you have, Matty?
So it's some mechanical keyboard that I got from DevOps Days Denver. It is a glorious modular mechanical keyboard.
Did I just make your day better or something?
What?
You just had a moment there. You're like,
no, because I was turning it so I could look at the bottom of it.
Gotcha. All right.
Cool looking though. Lights up and stuff.
Cool. Cannot find module. Pulumi demo. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Here we are. This is what I want, I think. Keyboard nerds. Okay. Unable to compile. Cannot find module. Really? Wait. What was the previous error? Oh, I didn't install the module.
Oh, again.
Nice. I love making the same error twice.
Right. Then how you know you really made it.
I especially love making the same error twice in front of people. Sweet. Cool. No errors! Look at that!
Good job.
After all that, I now have a random string generator that has a different name than the one in the template. So
all
there.
Right.
Cool. So we have about 10 minutes left on the stream, and I thought it'd be fun to either ask questions, and I could kind of go through a little bit about what's sitting in provider.go. So if I go back to my editor, and I'm going to hide away the examples, hide away all the binary, all this stuff, and I'm going to just look in my package provider.go. And make this a little bit bigger. So what you see in here, I don't know why this is, it's just pretty in red for no reason whatsoever. It's like, I see red things and I'm like, where are my errors? But I think it's just my IDE choosing a different theme today. Anyway, so there's a couple things. Right here we have the Pulumi RPC, and that is a package that lives in the Pulumi core repo, Pulumi, and it holds an interface that basically requires every provider to implement these methods: attach, call, construct, check config. These are all names for gRPC methods. Now, unlike, or perhaps like, I'm fairly new to gRPC. So what I didn't understand before looking at this repo is that, this is just a Pulumi version of RPC. These methods are defined in the Pulumi provider. In the Pulumi engine, not the provider. That's what we're in right now. And there are a number of these methods. And in the README, there is a link that basically shows you where these are somewhat documented. The documents, as usual, can use improvement. But the main things that make your things work here are they're basically like 6 basic methods. There's check, that basically it's a validation. Then there's the diff method. This is where the logic lives, where the Pulumi engine is basically can register whether your resource has changed or not, based on whether you're running Pulumi up with an update. Then we have create. That's basically creating your new resource from scratch. In our example on right here on line 164, this is where the resource implementation lives in our template. When you make your own provider, you can obviously put it wherever you want, but actually let's just go to make random, and you'll see at the very bottom, this resource behaves in a certain way. It takes an input length, and it returns, it does some random number generation, and then returns the string as the result. Let's go back to where we were. Oops, nope. What am I doing here? Yeah. No. There we are. And so this happens on the create call, right? That's where you want to put the logic for how your upstream resource, your provider resource, will behave. And thankfully, a lot of providers just have well-defined APIs, so you don't really need to implement every single resource over and over and over. You just need to make sure that that we have, where are we passing the results? Oh, here's the outputs, that the outputs are going to get captured by whatever comes back from your provider API, from your cloud provider API, your upstream API. You can see much better, more involved examples, but this is kind of like the basic one where you can see how it's all put together. So let's talk about the length input. If I switch really quickly to the schema.json and make that a little bit bigger, you can see here that on the random resource, we have a length property of type integer. And we can see that in the example as well. Right here, we're passing length as an arg, and we're saying 24. If I change this, then I would make a new random number. I don't know what the limits are. Basically, this is sort of where the template leaves you to your own devices. And it's like, all right, how do you want your resources to behave? You need to implement the behavior. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to go give a quick overview. These methods, I think, once you see them, will help you understand a lot more about how a provider behaves, why it behaves the way it does, and which methods you need to make your particular cloud resource work. And again, I say cloud resource, that's kind of a shorthand. This could be anything that has an API, or you don't even need an API. You can just like scroll down to the bottom and go ahead and write yourself a new, func make random animal. If I hadn't spent so much time trying to rename things, I probably would have, number int, how many random animals do we want? And then we return a string, stuff like that. And then we would have to manually go into the schema and create a new resource called random animal, stuff like that. So yeah, did we have any questions? I hope that was at least somewhat helpful. Matty, I can't hear you. I still can't.
There we go. Sorry. I said it was helpful to me. So that was awesome.
Good. Well, excellent. I as usual, I would love suggestions, improvements.
Yeah, it was deep from the Sunday.
I mean,
I was trying to mute. I was keeping on mute because my kids all came home and they're all running around and being rambunctious. So I was trying to keep background noise to the minimum.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping to, build a much more complicated provider in the very near future. Given that, probably not in a stream because it would take a really long time.
Right.
But yeah, if y'all want to take the template for a spin and report back on how it works, or if any of you are like super into sed and want to make like a little helper script to make this replacement a little easier, that would also be dope. I don't know. I might do it. but
Because why not?
yeah, but this is just kind of sort of how you get set up with, you know, a basic working provider, and then you can actually use the existing example to change it up and see if it still works, if your implementation, if your methods work. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Gwen, for joining. Thanks everybody who tuned in. And don't forget to mash the subscribe or follow or whatever button for whatever thing you're doing. That's how you're watching us. And once again, I can't find the window I'm looking for. There we go. So we will see you all on the internet.